So what we'll start with is just like a brief overview of cryptocurrency. By in no way is this going to be, super in depth, but I am aware that there are a lot of people who are just like me. When I first entered this industry, I'd heard of Bitcoin, I'd heard the term cryptocurrency, but like I didn't actually have a clue what it was, how it functioned, um, none of that. And it was a really big learning curve for me, especially after that first company. We got into some businesses that was all to do with crypto. So I very quickly had to adapt. I had to learn how to send from multiple different wallets, different coins, different networks, how to withdraw. Like it was um it was a big, big learning curve. So I want to start with just understanding, just cryptocurrency in general, some of the uses that it has, how it's used, but also some difficulties with crypto. What people struggle with, maybe why people are scared to get involved in the crypto market. But of course, then how we can use that in economy. How you can go ahead and not be afraid of crypto, make money from crypto. So first things first, we're on here to talk about Defivrse, okay? Because Defivrse is our product that shows us how to get into the crypto market. So it is an add-on. So right now, if you currently, excuse me, if you currently, let's say, have the Elite Pack, then Defivrse is something that you can add on for $69 a month. I'm going to go through some of the trades that have been sent out just in the last week, and you will see how $69 is literally, nothing compared to the trades that we get on Defivrse. But if you have the gold pack, you already have Defivrse. It's just a case of now you plugging in and using it. If you're someone who perhaps already adds on Plutos, let's say, so you've got the Elite Pack, you've got Plutos as an add-on, I would highly consider upgrading to the Gold Pack, because with Plutos and Defivrse alone, that's $119 plus your $99 for the Elite Pack. So you're looking at like $210, whereas the monthly subscription for the Gold Pack is $165, right? So you'd actually be saving money with the Gold Pack if those were two products that you still, you know, I know a lot of us love Plutos and use Plutos. So and it's probably something you want to look into, maybe in the new year. So let's get into it, right? So what exactly is cryptocurrency? Okay, so cryptocurrency, I'm going to call it crypto because, currency is just long, right? Is a digital currency, and it's designed to work as a medium of exchange through a computer network. Okay, so it's entirely online. Okay, it's entirely digital, and is sent through these series of computer networks. Now, the main thing with crypto, it is not reliant on any central authority. Okay, so it does not need the government, it does not need a bank in order for it to be maintained. Now, this is a large reason why it's taken crypto such a long time to be adopted by the masses, because of course it's not the norm. The government don't approve, the banks don't approve. In some countries it's out and out banned. In a lot of other countries they try and make it difficult for us to purchase and acquire crypto with our banks, because of course they don't have control of it. And if the banks can't control it, of course they don't want it, right? Same with the government. But it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're seeing more and more countries finally get on board and start to adopt this. Okay, so for example, in Dubai for quite a few years now, you can actually buy property with USDT, right? You've got countries who are starting to be a bit ahead of the trend, I guess, and starting to allow this as a form of currency. And there's been a few things in the news recently. I saw something about Russia, like Putin approving, crypto being used. Something Virgin Airlines or Virgin Cruises is going to allow you to pay for cruises with Bitcoin now. So there are things, we're starting to see this get more widely adopted. But from a financial point of view, okay, it's its own asset class now. right? Cryptocurrency is its own asset class. Okay, so we can be investing into this as an asset, right? Especially if if you hold the bigger coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, like those are assets that are continuing to appreciate in value, right? And the reason why they will continue to appreciate in value is because there's only so many Bitcoin, right? There is a limited supply, which means the more people adopt Bitcoin, the more the price is going to go up because there is only so much out there, right? So this is, things that I didn't know, right? I didn't know this 4 years ago, and it didn't make any sense to me. And the other thing that you'll need to learn, especially if you're going to trade the spot ideas, which we'll go through, so some of the altcoins, you'll need to learn how to send cryptocurrency, okay, through something called, we've got crypto exchanges or, from wallet to wallet, right? Whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you'll need to learn how to send from one exchange or one wallet to another. So, for example, Hassan on the call talked about Size Coin, right? Right towards the end. Now, in order to get Size Coin, right, you would have needed to download a wallet called Phantom, right? And you would have needed to send a coin called Solana from an exchange like maybe Coinbase or crypto.com or Binance that you already had. You would need to send Solana to Phantom, and then within Phantom, you are then swapping for Size, which is it only operates on the Solana network. So those kind of things, right, will take you a bit of time to understand. But, if you really want to get into this world, it's such a worthwhile skill, right, to acquire, to understand how to send crypto. Okay. You will also, if you start to invest big money, right? We're talking, if you've got tens of thousands, sitting in investments in crypto, you'll also need to learn the difference between a hot and a cold wallet. So a hot wallet, if you're taking notes, a hot wallet is these big exchanges that you've probably all heard of. I've just mentioned a few: crypto.com, Binance, Coinbase, okay, Kraken. Those are all hot wallets, okay, because this is where people go to purchase. So, if people got a lot of money coming kind of in and out of them, but they're not a place that you would want to hold, tens of thousands of an investment, right? A lot of people will transfer that to cold wallets or something called a ledger. So I don't know if any of you watch Premium Bells' stories, right? But the last couple weeks, he's had a cheeky picture there with his ledger, which looks like a little like a USB. And if you've got a lot of money in crypto, that's the safest place for it, because basically you've offloaded it from a network onto that ledger. So if somebody's like trying to rob you, they somehow got to get onto your ledger. They need to have your secure key, all of that kind of stuff, right? So again, that's something for down the line. If you do get into crypto, you would want to kind of definitely get yourself a cold wallet. Okay. So that's just a brief. Now let's talk about the advantages of crypto. Okay. A lot of the advantages of crypto is actually the security, right? The security on crypto exchanges and wallets, and especially if you start getting things like ledgers, right, are arguably safer than a bank, right? It is very, very difficult to hack someone's crypto wallet, right? If I compare it to a bank, right? Let's say someone steals my card. Somehow, like I lose my wallet and someone has access to my bank card, right? They only need to figure out like a 4-digit PIN if they want to try and use my card and take some of my money and make purchases. I mean, nowadays, if someone took my wallet, they could just go to a store and tap, right? And they're gonna be able to take money out of my card, right? But when it comes to crypto, if someone were to somehow, figure out the email address, password, whatever the case may be, right? If you're logging in from a new device, it's going to ask you about your secure key, okay, or your secret phrase. Okay, and a secure key or a secret phrase will be a series of 12 completely random words, right? And you need to know the order of these words. So it's not even enough for you to know, okay, that my 12 words are apple, bat, I don't know, cereal, whatever. I'm just making up words, right? But they also have to be in the correct order. So even if someone found, again, this would be difficult, but even if they found your secret words, if they didn't know the order in which to put them, like they couldn't get access to your wallet. Right. So security and the ways that things are dealt with in the crypto networks, is very, very tight. Okay, very, very tight. Right. But it's also very transparent. And again, Hassan started to show this on the call where he said all transactions can be tracked. So, for example, if I send something on the Solana network and I have the transaction ID, I can look it up. I can know exactly how much was sent from which wallet to which wallet. I can know exactly when that transaction was confirmed. So each network has its own, it's called a scanner. So you've got like Solana, you've got the Tron scanner, you've got all these different ways that it's very fully transparent when one transaction is basically sent, and you can track all of it, right? And this is through something called the blockchain. So whenever a transaction is sent, right, in crypto, doesn't matter what coin it is, what token it is, okay, it forms its own like blockchain, okay? And nothing can change that blockchain once it's been sent. So even if someone were trying to hack it, it can't be changed. Okay, and again, it's a lot more complicated than that. And even sometimes I like, there's definitely still things that I need to learn about the complexities of the blockchain. Okay, but think of it, it's almost like a contract between one person to another. If I'm person A and I'm sending money to, let's say, Tama's person B, as soon as I've clicked the transfer button, like there isn't really any way for me to get that back, right? I've made that transaction and it's gone from A person to B person, and then that's it, right? And nothing can be interfered. Okay. Then you've also got its accessibility. Now, this is the reason why the accessibility and lower transaction fees, I'm going to talk about at the same time. This is the reason why I love crypto so much, right? Because of what we can do with crypto that we cannot do with our banks. So most of you know, I lived in the UK for like over 10 years, and my family's back in Canada. Now, let's say I wanted to send money to my dad, right? When I go to send money to my dad, number one, just for me to send it, I'm going to pay a fee, right? And that fee, it might not be big. It might be like 2 to 3%. Okay. But whenever I'm going to send that fee, depending how much I'm sending, the more money I send, obviously, the higher the fee is going to be. Okay. So I send it from my UK bank account to my dad's Canadian bank account. I pay a fee. Then it's probably going to take 3 to 5 business days for it to arrive in my dad's account. Right. Now, once it gets to my dad's account, it then has to be, of course, exchanged from pounds into Canadian dollars. So my dad then has to pay a fee for that transfer to happen. Right. So you're getting fees on both ends, both the sender and the person you're sending to ends up paying a fee. And it might take up to 5 business days to get there. As soon as I learned how to use crypto and how to send crypto, I set my dad up with a crypto.com account, right? Because that gives him a card as well. So he can just, whatever I send him, he could just put it on his card and use. Okay. When I go to send money to my dad now, regardless of what country I'm in or whatever, it only costs me $1. It costs me $1 to send USDT from my crypto wallet to my dad's crypto wallet, and he'll get it within 5 minutes. So for me, just little things like that, the convenience, right, that crypto has, For just that reason alone, I feel like people should adopt it. If you have family members in other countries that you're always sending money to, then crypto's a no-brainer, right? It's cheaper, it gets there a lot quicker, right? So that is like one of the biggest kind of things for me. Okay. Now, some challenges though. Okay, let's talk about it. Reasons why people are a bit, I would say, apprehensive to get into crypto because it's volatile. Okay, it is volatile. When the crypto market crashed in May of 2021, yeah, May of 2021, right? It's of course all over the news. Now, what they don't tell you is actually this is a cycle and it happens every 4 years. People who are educated obviously, learn these things and know it's just a matter of waiting it out because now, of course, we hit a high of over 100,000. But when that market crash happened, Bitcoin went from like 50 or 60,000 all the way down to like 18,000. So that kind of volatility scares people because they don't understand why it's happening, right? However, for us, because we can educate ourselves on the platform and we have people who are sending us their trade ideas, their analysis, right? The volatility works in our favor, right? There was a trade that Felipe sent last week, right, for Bitcoin that did 9,900 pips in a matter of like 2-3 days. Now, for those of us who have been trading Forex, imagine you caught 9,000 pips on gold, how much money you would make, right? But also for gold to do 9,000 pips, we're going to be waiting a long freaking time. Gold can do 100, 200 pips in a day, but thousands, 9,000 pips in a matter of a couple days. Now, the great part about it is, and Felipe spoke about this, is the risk to reward. The stop loss for that very same trade was only 300 pips. You're risking 300 pips, and if you had held it, you could have banked 9,900, right? So that volatility, while it can be a bit unnerving because the pair moves very, very quickly, right? We need to learn to see that volatility as a good thing, right? Because if we're on the right side of it, we can make a heck of a lot of money. Okay. Now, I'm gonna lump all the other ones kind of together, right? So things like regulatory concerns and adoption barriers. Of course, if you're in a country, right, where crypto is banned, right? So adoption barriers, there's some countries in Africa where it's out and out banned, right? Nigeria actually banned Binance. That used to be their biggest exchange. So there are some countries that will make it, well, almost illegal for you to be using Bitcoin or for you to be getting crypto. People still do it. People still do it, but that's going to be a barrier for you, right? In order to try and get it. Right. And then of course, some people are concerned with the fact that it isn't regulated in a lot of countries. Right? Cryptocurrency, because it's been operating on computer networks, it doesn't rely on the government, it doesn't rely on banks, it is largely unregulated. Okay. Now, this is something else that can scare people. And unfortunately, there are people out there who take advantage of this, right? Drop a 1 in the chat box if you've been part of a crypto scam. And I know a few of you because we've unfortunately been in part of the same scam. Right? So it's a difficult thing to navigate, right? Because there are people out there who will take advantage of the fact that, there's groups of people who people want to invest, people want to grow their money, people want to have their money in places where it's doing things for them, right? So this is where being educated, right, is really, really important. Right? Because I've been a part of one of these companies that eventually disappeared and a lot of people lost a lot of money, I've now learned very important lessons about the crypto space, right? And about what things to look for. And to be honest, now I would never, one of the things I learned is, of course, I'm never going to send my money into someone else's wallet to trade for me. Right? For me, that's the biggest red flag. If you see anything online where they tell you, oh, if you just, here's our website and you're going to deposit, USDT straight into our website and it's going to do X amount per day, blah, 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 blah. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care if you do your due diligence, right? This company we were in, the CEO was pictured with presidents and prime ministers all over the world. He had such and such a reputation and blah, blah, blah. I don't care how good it sounds. If someone else has control, especially when it comes to crypto, because it's unregulated. So if something were to happen, you really don't have any legal grounds to stand on. Don't do it. Now, I don't want to scare anyone, because if you've got your own crypto wallet and you're investing for yourself, then it's perfectly safe because people can't get into your wallet, right? But those are some concerns, right? We need to speak about it. Okay. So all that being said, right? That was a very brief into crypto, especially if you're new to crypto. Okay. But for me, the pros heavily outweigh the cons if you educate yourself. Okay, that's the main thing. So let's actually go over to Defivrse. Now, great part about Defivrse is, number one, okay, I think my package is due in today or tomorrow. Okay, good. It's still active. I was just thinking of being like, okay, number one, you can access Defivrse via your back office so that you get it nice and big on here on your laptop, right? So if you're wanting to do the education, if you're wanting to plug into some of the live sessions, you can do it on your laptop. However, there, of course, is also the Defivrse app. So when you're on the go, just like with Solex, if there's new trade ideas that come in, you're going to get notifications on your app. Okay. That's why I really, I think Defivrse, I wish Solex and, let's say, the ECA they were the exact same as Defivrse. I'm going to try and push for that because the way Defivrse is laid out, everything's all in one place. So it makes it literally so easy for you. Okay, so first things first, let's look at where to do the education. Okay, because that's the most important part. If you're seriously wanting to get involved in crypto and start investing, you need to do your education first. Okay, so you'll come over to the learn section, and this is just like the ECA where you have all your, your pre-recorded videos. Okay, so you've got things like getting set up. So this is going to go through the Defivrse platform itself. It's going to go through different exchanges, for example, how to trade on MetaTrader 5. So things like Bitcoin, things like Ethereum, things like Sol, some of these bigger cryptocurrencies, you can actually trade on MetaTrader 5, right? So even if you don't know how to use a crypto exchange yet, you can still take these trades on your MetaTrader 5, just like you would any other Forex pair. Okay, obviously we've got a section on risk management. Now down here is exchanges, Bybit or BitGet. Okay, those are two different crypto exchanges that you can use to do spot and futures. So these are going to be the coins that are a lot smaller, that aren't on, they won't be in our brokers, like our Forex brokers will carry the main crypto pairs, okay, but they're not going to carry the ability to trade a coin that's worth less than 10 cents, for example. Okay, so for those, you will need to be doing it on something like BitGet. Now, if you're in the UK, I've got someone, Sarah, put a message in our group about a week ago, because she's been plugging into Defivrse for quite a while now. Those two exchanges aren't available in the UK. If you did want to use them, so that way you have the education here to go along with it, you'd need to download the app with a VPN. Okay, but hopefully, I might actually get Alicia. Maybe we can ask Tim I don't know if Tim's on the call. He's not on the call. Maybe we can ask Tim what a good spot exchange is for the UK. That might be a good one. But yeah, if you're in other countries, things like Binance is a good place where a lot of people will trade spot futures. But in the UK, Binance is a lot more difficult to use now. If you don't already have a Binance account, you can't even get one. Okay, so you're going to go through the getting started part, and that's just going to give you the basics. Okay, but then of course there's loads of stuff in here, crypto basics in general, right? Getting you to understand a bit more about right cryptocurrencies. Okay, what Bitcoin exactly is, right? And this is another important thing: potential applications. Cryptos aren't just, not all of them anyways, aren't just like random coins in space where you can send money. A lot of them have real world applications. So something like XLM, okay, XLM is like a mini version of XRP. So if you were wanting to invest and you were looking at XRP, I definitely consider XLM as well. But XLM is going to be, it's like an app, like Cash App. You guys know in the US, like they use Cash App all the time to just send money between each other, right? XLM is going to be similar, only you can send a lot more money, right? So bigger companies can be sending thousands and thousands because, of course, on Cash App, there's limitations to how much you can send per day. So XLM is actually a technology that has real world applications. So if it gets adopted and people start using, that's going to drive up the value of XLM, right? And if we're investing into XLM, it's almost like purchasing stocks. Like if you see this technology and you think, wow, that's actually going to do a lot of good in the world, then you invest into it, right? Just like a stock like Apple or Tesla. Okay, so again, that's something really worth knowing. Now, things like meme coins, those are just kind of luck of the draw. If they have a good marketing team, they have celebrity backings, those can go crazy, but they don't, for the most part, they don't do anything. Meme coins are like cultural phenomena. They're literally just built off hype. So with meme coins, you really have to be like the saying, risk only what you're willing to lose, is very, very important there, because you can easily lose on a meme coin, but at the same time, you can easily make a shit ton of money if you get on the right meme coin. Okay. So Amali, so this is where you'll need to watch the education, because you'll need to get yourself a crypto wallet and you would need to purchase XLM, just like you would purchase Bitcoin. If I'm on crypto.com and I want to purchase Bitcoin, I buy Bitcoin on my exchange, right? XLM will be the same, right? So if you've not really used exchanges before, you'll just need to go through some of this education. Okay, so all of that is in there. What is an altcoin? Types of blockchains. What is a blockchain, right? What I just went through at a very, very basic level. Okay, what's a smart contract? Also important to know. Okay, so there's lots of things. There's lots of things for you to learn in this. Now, again, the good part, we've got short videos, like, ICO, that's a 3-minute long video. Okay, how to deposit and withdraw. Okay, a little bit longer. Okay, 6 minutes, but such an important skill. Such an important skill. Okay, when you withdraw, that's when if you're going to send it to other, if I'm going to send money to Tama, right, in the UK, I can just withdraw from my Tagapay to Tama's Tagapay, or withdraw from mycrypto.com to hercrypto.com, right? Now, down here, we also then have the recordings of our educators, which so let's say Kevin, for example, is going to be a good one to watch for some of the altcoins. Okay, Felipe is like the Bitcoin master. Kevin also sends a lot of Ethereum signals as well. So you'll kind of start to see which educators send which type of coins, but they also have boot camps. So I was on one of Kevin's live sessions last week, and he highly suggested watching his spot portfolio mastery. Okay, because in this boot camp, he goes through how to build your crypto portfolio. So if you are brand new, okay, how to start building your portfolio. Because there's going to be certain things you want, right? A percentage of your portfolio, you want to have your major coins like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like XRP, like Solana, right? You want to have your major coins. But then there's going to be another portion of your portfolio where you want to have some like up and coming altcoins. So XLM, I would consider more of like an up and coming. I think it's still only worth like, 30, 40 cents, right? Just like XRP was about 3, 4 years ago. Okay. And then there's going to be a smaller portion of your portfolio where you're going to have some risky coins. You're going to take a gamble on some of these coins. They're a bit risky. Okay. But of course, again, if it pays off, you're going to make a lot. Okay. If it doesn't, well, it's money that you are willing to risk. Okay. So, but again, all of this stuff down here, worth watching, but that one in particular, I think it's going to be very important for beginners to watch because it's going to show you how to build your portfolio. Okay, for the long term. And Kevin talked about this, on Thursday's call, right? If you actually genuinely want to leave a legacy and you want to build wealth, then you're not just going to look for the short-term trades. Because we get sent Bitcoin trades now with this bull run, like we're sent Bitcoin trades almost like every other day. Those are our trades where we can make a quick buck, right? Where we can trade daily. But your portfolio is what you are building for the long term, right? What you are building for the long term. Okay. So there's that. Now, of course, they also have live sessions. Now, what I love about the Defivrse live sessions as well is because Defivrse hasn't actually been widely adopted by the company yet, the educators really take time to answer your questions. So if Felipe is marking up Bitcoin, right, and you have specific questions about what he's doing or his indicators or whatever the case may be, okay, they're very, very good at answering your questions. Now, I've seen people go on there though and ask random things, like he's talking about Bitcoin and they ask him about, like, I don't know, how to transfer USDT from, I don't know, whatever, another wallet. Like, maybe try and stay on topic, okay, because there's other people on the session wanting to learn too, especially if you haven't done the education. But they are very, very good at answering questions. Now, whenever someone is live, you'll see a red dot will appear up here. Okay, so but also if you have Defivrse on your phone, you get notifications. The educators will send reminders. I'm going live in 10 minutes, or we're going live in an hour, or whatever the case may be. Okay, you've also got the live schedule. To be honest, I think this needs to be updated because I'm pretty sure Felipe goes live a lot more than this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says he's got 4 calls, but yeah, I would need to double check this. I just go based on if I see a notification pop up that they're live, I've just started hopping on because, I don't work, so I have the luxury to do that. If you do work, then of course look through the schedule so you can plan, what sessions you're going to attend. Okay, now here's where the money is in the trade ideas. Here is where the money is. So again, on your phone, you have ideas. There is a chat in the top left-hand corner on your phone. It's literally a little speech bubble. And this is where educators will send updates on the trade. Okay, so this trade from Felipe yesterday, okay, hit TP2 for 1,300 pips. Again, and this is where, okay, guys, if the add-on is only $69, it's only $69. This one trade did 1,300 pips. If you risked even just a 0.01, how much money would you have made from that trade? Somebody tell me. If I risk 0.01, hopefully you guys know how much that is per pip. If you do, that means you've been on some of my Forex for Newbies sessions. If you don't, that means you need to attend it. Somebody tell me in the chat box, if I put a 0.01 lot size, how much am I risking? 10 what? $10? Okay, 10p, 10 cents. Thank you, Caroline. Right? There we go. There's the answer, 130. Okay, because even if I had the lowest possible lot size where I'm only risking 10 cents per pip, if I held it for that full 1,300 pips, I would have made $130 in one trade on Friday. The add-on is only $69. Like for me, it's just honestly an absolute no-brainer. It doesn't matter what your account size is, because again, this particular trade, right? I could probably still look at it. Hold on a minute. Let me actually go over here. Okay, it was here actually. Sorry, it was here. Okay, so the entry was, let's say you got in 97,530. Okay. The invalidation was 900,330. That had a 200 pip stop loss. A 200 pip stop loss, and TP1 was 370. TP1 was about 900 pips. So even if you just held to TP1, the risk to reward is crazy, right? The risk to reward is crazy. Okay. So let's keep going through these, right? So things like Bitcoin, right? Things like Bitcoin, you can trade on your MetaTrader 5. These are like, think of them as day trades, just like we trade with Plutos, Edris on Solex. We can take those Bitcoin trades just like we do all of those other ones. However, I'm going to explain what invalidation means, because some people on a trade on Thursday got taken out of this trade because they've used this as a stop loss, but it's not the same when it comes to crypto, and I'm going to explain that. Okay, but then you've got these coins, okay, Jasmy, Mana, okay, look it, they're worth less than a cent. These are your altcoins. Okay, this one's 27 to 74 cents would be where you want to enter. Okay, so these are your smaller coins that you're probably going to need to trade on an exchange. Okay, and when you think about these ones, I don't even think of it as trading, like I'm investing. So if I want to get mana, I'm going to be buying mana, right? I'm purchasing it. That's an investment. But we can still see, like if it gets to this price, for example, if it gets up to $1.47, I want to take some of my profits out of the equation, right? Because I still want to be taking profits, right? But if you hold it for the long term, look at this. If it gets all the way up to almost $6, right? And you got in when it was 27 cents, let's say you put, if you put it, I'm not actually, I'm terrible at maths. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't even try to do this. Let's say we got in at 75 cents, right? And we put in $1,000. If that got up to even $5, right? It's basically 5x'd the price here, 75 cents up to like $5. So my $1,000 is going to become $5,000. So I'm going to turn a $4,000 profit by, putting money into that coin. Now, along the way, though, you want to definitely take partials. You want to take your money off the table, right? When it comes to this kind of investing, you kind of want to go risk-free as quickly as possible. So for me, as soon as my money were to double, okay, so let's say this here, you've got 70, let's say I got in at 75 cents, it goes to $1.50. My money will have doubled. My 1,000 is going to have turned into 2,000, right? I would take my 1,000 back and then just let the rest ride. Because what that means is I've got my initial investment back. I'm completely risk-free. It's like going break even, right? It's like going break even, right? I'm completely risk-free. And then I'll leave that. And if it does ride all the way up to this price, then obviously I'm making a very, very good return on investment, right? Like 400, 500%. Okay. With these ones though, so let's say I click on Mana. Okay. Down here though, it tells me this is a spot idea, which means you can buy and hold this coin. Okay. So there's no guesswork. You don't need to think, oh, can I do this on MetaTrader 5? Nope. It tells me this is a portfolio idea, meaning I know I need to go to my crypto exchange and I'm actually going to buy Mana. Okay. And you've got information on it. So CoinGecko, where you can kind of look at the price of this coin. Okay, Decentraland. I'm assuming this is probably where you can buy it actually. So Mana is Decentraland. So yeah, so this is actually where you can get this coin. Okay. That's going to require some education though. And I don't have time to go through that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, again, it's also got indices on Defivrse, if you guys didn't know, NAS 100, SPX. Okay, but there's so many. And since this crypto bull run, I'm getting notifications like multiple times a day for these smaller coins, right? You've got Ordi, okay, Sundog, Brett, Whiff. These are all these smaller altcoins. Look at, they're still only worth cents. They're still only worth cents. Okay, but let's go into a Bitcoin trade. Okay, let's go into the one from Friday. And I want to just explain, okay, what invalidation means, okay? Because this part's really important. And when you guys first start using Defivrse, the Bitcoin trades are the ones to start with, right? That's the ones for you to get your feet wet, make some profit. You already know how to use MetaTrader 5. So these ones are not going to be hard for you to take. Okay. Number one, we're given the entry zone. Okay. So when price gets in that zone, you just market execute. Okay. It's a buy. It tells us up here it's a buy on the 5-minute time frame. Okay. And we're scalping. Okay. Meaning this trade, is probably going to be done relatively quickly because it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves very fast. Even though it moved a long way, it moved 1,300 pips. This trade was still done within a day. 1,300 pips was done within a day. Okay, so we've got Bitcoin, it's a buy, and our entry's here. So of course, we would go over to our MetaTrader 5. If it's in this zone, we'd put our lot size and we click the buy button. Now, you would then put in your TP. Okay, again, I always suggest TP1 first. If you take 2 entries, of course, then the second one you can put TP2. Now, this is the bit that people get confused on. Invalidation isn't the same as a stop loss. Okay. Now, if you're going to take this trade and like you're about to step into work and you won't be able to check your phone for the next few hours, then yes, put this in as a stop loss. However, I do not put in a stop loss because it can come down to this price and the trade will not be invalidated, right? So if it comes and it hits this price and it takes you out at stop loss, okay, and I think it was a trade on Wednesday or Thursday where this happened, it wicked down, it hit the invalidation price. So some people got taken out in a loss, right? I ended up winning that trade because it didn't invalidate. Okay, so what that means is, okay, first of all, you would look at the time frame, which is the 5-minute. Invalidation is if a candle breaks this price and the candle closes below this price. So I look at it on MetaTrader 4, right? But I'm going to show you on TradingView what that means. So the invalidation price was 97,330. Okay, so if I come over here, I'm going to draw myself a line, right? 97,000 is down here. Okay. So in order for this trade to no longer be valid anymore, here we go. It might have been this day. Let's say here. Okay, so let's say, for example, we took the trade somewhere here. Okay, let's say that was our buy entry, was like here, for example. Okay, let me just zoom in. And 5-minute time frame. I want to go to a 5-minute time frame because that's what the educator sent us. And you would do it to whatever time frame it was, right? If it was a 15-minute, if it was a 1 hour. Okay, now you can see here, let's say I entered here, okay, and price came down to my invalidation. Okay, to my invalidation. Now, here you could see it wicked it. So if I had to put a stop loss, that would have taken me out of that trade in a loss, but then price pushed up. It didn't get invalidated because a candle, the body of this candle, did not close below the invalidation price. Now, again, it came down. Okay, price pushed below. Okay, but it didn't close below, right? It actually closed up here. Okay, this candle as well, it touched below the invalidation price, but the candle closed up here. And then this continued to push up, and this went and this hit TPs. So if you had have put 97,330 as a stop loss, you would have lost that trade. But this trade did not get invalidated. Now, where would an invalidation be? Well, if it was, I don't know, let's say we took it up here, right? Let's say we took the trade here, and then this candle just absolutely tanked past that price and it closed below because the new candle opened here. So it is closed way below the invalidation price. Okay, same here. It pushed below, and then you have candles that close below the invalidation price. So it now becomes invalid. And if that happens, you then just close your trade in a loss, just like you would if it had hit stop loss. Okay, but that trade was not a losing trade. It did not invalidate. It touched the invalidation price, but the candle did not close below. Drop a 1 if that makes sense. Or drop a 2 if you still have questions about that. Because that may, it takes a bit of time. Okay, it takes a bit of time. I know it's confusing at first. It will take time, Heather. So basically, right? Let me come over here. Okay. Let's say, guys, Heather, let's say this is our we have entered. Let me get rid of some of these lines. Okay. So we're going to enter up here for a buy. And our invalidation is going to be, I'm just going to draw some stuff out. So let me just put it there. And let me make that red. Whoopsies. Okay, that's our invalidation price. Okay. So, right, let's say I've got, okay, I entered here. Okay, but the market starts to push down. Okay, so I'm in a little bit of drawdown. Okay, next candle pushes down a bit more. Oh, sugar plum. Okay, my next candle pushes down a bit more. Gets close, right? Gets close to my invalidation. Okay, and then I have the next candle wicks. Okay, it wicks down below. Okay, it wicks below my invalidation price. Okay. However, the wick then within the 5 minutes comes back up and it still closes where my invalidation price is. It's wicked down below. Okay, so it's technically, if this were a Forex trade, we'd be out. It hits stop loss, we're out. But if this candle still closes above the invalidation price, then you're still in the trade. Because the next candle might do the same thing. It might wick, but it might pop back up. But this time it goes a little bit higher. So I've got a wick here, I've got a wick here, but my candle still hasn't closed below the invalidation price. Okay, so what that means is my trade is still valid. My trade is still valid. Now, like I said before, if you're going to be super busy and you're at work or you're about to take your kids to the park or I don't know, whatever the case may be, and okay, in the next 1 hour, 2 hours, like I won't be able to monitor this trade, then put it in as a stop loss. Okay. Because again, crypto, like Bitcoin, moves very fast. Like that, this candle here, that would, that would hurt if you didn't close and it pushed all the way down here, that would hurt you. Okay. So if you cannot, if you absolutely cannot be monitoring the trade, oh my God, look at that candle. Like, let's say it broke that level. Look how far down it went. Like, that's a big candle. And that's a 5 minute, you know what's crazy? That's a 5 minute time frame. And that candle moved that far, that fast. Okay. So if you know 100% you cannot be on your phone, you cannot monitor, then again, please put the invalidation as your stop loss. But if you know you've got a little bit of time, okay, you know you're going to be able to every maybe 15, 20 minutes, you'll be able to check up on your trade, then please invalidation. Okay, because people lost that trade on Wednesday. And I won the trade because it didn't actually invalidate. Yes, Hilly. So I wouldn't put this in as a stop loss, okay, if I can monitor the trade. All right. So here, what I would do, obviously, if it comes down and I see it wicks my price, then I'm going to pay attention to the charts. I'm going to pay attention to my MetaTrader. But if I see, okay, it comes back up, I'm not going to close it. Okay, it wicked down again, it comes back up, then I can see it start to rise, then I'm back in profit and I'm cool. Right? But only if you're going to be able to monitor. Yeah, there you go. So see, Heather, yeah, I think there's a few people. And again, I mean, I have explained it in our chat before, and I explained it on my previous Defivrse calls, but because it wasn't super well attended, you know, people miss that. Yeah, alarms on TradingView, definitely, Alicia, is a really, really good idea for sure. Amali, oh, sorry, I've just seen you made 239. Yeah, like you can make a lot very quickly. Bitcoin moves fast. Bitcoin moves fast. Okay, guys, so are there any other questions about this? Because that's pretty much it, right? That's the Defivrse platform. So you've got multiple different ways you can make money. We can day trade. So the Bitcoin we treat as day trading. We'll get those, especially now with the bull run coming. Like we get multiple Bitcoin signals a week. Okay, so those we can do on a MetaTrader 5, especially if you're still quite new to even Forex. You can still take these Bitcoin trades because you've learned how to take a trade now. You know how to put in a take profit. You know how to execute a buy or a sell, right? You know how to do those things. But then the second way to make money is obviously starting to build your portfolio. But this is where you're going to need some more education because you'll need to learn how to buy crypto on an exchange. Like if you want to get Mana, you need to learn how to buy it. If you want to get Jasmy, you need to learn how to buy it. So this is where, but this education right now is so important, right? If you guys were on that call on Thursday, we are coming into what's known as a bull run. But this bull run, they also call altcoin season. This is where these little coins that are worth like 27 cents, if they get to a few dollars, right, within this season, you're looking at 4xing, 5xing, maybe even 10xing some of your investments, right? So definitely worth looking into. Tama, what's the minimum someone should start with? So if it's you're trading, let's say, for example, you're going to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? There's lots of Ethereum signals by Kevin as well. Where's one? Oh, he hasn't sent one in a little while. There's one right there. Okay, so if it's something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you're going to be trading it in your MetaTrader 5, just along with your other Forex pairs, okay, even if you only have like a couple $100 in your trading account, you can take those trades. Obviously, use a low risk, 0.01, because we know it's very volatile. But if you have $200, $300, like $500 in your trading account, you can trade the Bitcoin and Ethereum trades. Now, when it comes to the coins, like I said, you know, these are investments, right? So it's just whatever you're willing to invest into that coin. So you might put $50 on Flux. You might put, I don't know, another $50 on WIF, you know, whatever the case may be. Those are more investments, right? So that's something that you'll need to decide for yourself based on your financial situation. But when it comes to the trading part in MetaTrader 5, if you've got a few $100s in your trading account that you're also using to trade your Forex, then you can trade Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? Do the instructors monitor the trade ideas they send to you? Yes, absolutely. So Sarah, over here on the right-hand side, where it says chat, you get updates. So obviously when this one hit TP2, we got an update. When it hit TP1, we got an update. Okay, but he'll also, okay, look at BTC is moving towards target. So even when it gets into profit, once it gets into like 300-400 pips in profit, Felipe usually sends you instructions. So he says here, feel free to secure your entry. Now, what he means there to secure your entry is move your stop loss to break even. So just like Plutos, let's say, tells us to book, right? That's her way of saying, you know, take some partials, move your stop loss to break even, right? So yes, you do get updates. Okay. Picasso, oh, that's all about the, yeah, different coins, different exchanges you can use. Yeah, so you get updates all the time. Okay, second trade was break even. Okay, so even if a trade doesn't go our way, we get updates. Okay, so you've got all of that there. And again, if it's on your phone, it just like Solex, if an educator sends a message, you get that notification that comes up on your phone, just like Solex does. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. Any other question, guys? Otherwise, we've gone like a few minutes over, but hopefully you now kind of fully understand this platform. But yeah, okay, cool. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to stop there. I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your day. If Defivrse is something you're wanting to add on, then you just go into your back office, go to purchase an order, and it will be there as an add-on. But if you need any help, of course, speak to the person who introduced you, and they can give you any other information you require, or to go ahead and help you do that. All right, guys, I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your day. For those of you who are wanting to watch the GoPro, I will send a Google Meets link shortly. And yeah, take care, guys. Bye.